Hey guys, and welcome! With update 2.2, we did not only receive the changes and fixes I mentioned in my patch notes video already, but also some hidden ones that were not mentioned or only briefly and not explained any further. So in today's video I will do what I always do after an update and show you all of these things and everything else you should know about it. But first of all, a little explanation to the persistent server function that is now in the game, but that might not everyone has recognized so far. Cause if you want to start one of these persistent servers, you need to enable the function in the game settings. By default it is turned off, and when you want to host a server it is also shown as disabled, but you can't turn it on here in the screen. So what you need to do is to head over to the options and then general, and over there you will find the setting for persistent servers. Turn it on and then it will be enabled when you want to host your Portal experience. But just like before, you can also not disable it from this screen. So if you don't want your server to be persistent, like when you do the aim trainer for example, or you just want to try something out, you either need to turn the function off in the options before, or you need to properly shut down the server when you don't need it anymore instead of just leaving it. If you only leave it, the server will stay online for the next 7 days. So to shut it down correctly, you have to go to the menu when you are on the server and then go to admin and then shut down. This will remove the server from the browser. A little bit confusing if you don't know how it works, but now you know. The next point was found by our data miner Temporal, and that's a teaser event for the new season. I'm sure you all can remember the player cards that teased season 2 and that could be activated by finding a random chest on different maps, and something like this is now also active in the game for season 3. But we don't know exactly what it is right now. Temporal knows, at least that's what he says, but he doesn't want to spoil it for anyone and wants the community to do the Easter egg hunt like last season. So when you jump back into the game, keep your eyes open, and if you find something unusual, be sure to share it so everyone has the chance to find it. What Temporal also found again in the latest patch files are new unreleased cosmetic items. These will come to the in-game store at some point during the next weeks and will be part of different bundles. I will keep you updated on this of course, so if you like something you see here, be sure to watch my weekly missions videos to not miss out on anything. And then I also had another look at the player card section, and there were indeed some new and really interesting cards added this time that cannot be bought with money but only unlocked by playing. These are called Tour of Duty, and there are 3 of them in sum that can be unlocked by completing several assignments on the old eras of Battlefield in Portal. So for the 2002 player card you need to do kills with weapons, vehicles and gadgets of Battlefield 1942. For the 2010 card, that is my personal favorite, it's kills with the Bad Company 2 arsenal, and for the 2011 player card, the missions are the exact same, only that it needs to be done in the Battlefield 3 era. So this was surely added to give players a motivation to use the new persistent server feature in Portal and create experiences for everyone to complete these assignments and unlock these cards. And then there was also another card added that is called Time Crimes, and this is surely the most interesting one, cause here you have to do 100 kills on enemies from a different era than yourself. And that means that you need to play on a server where one side uses the Battlefield 3 era for example, and the other side the Bad Company 2 era or the Battlefield 1942. And this is surely fun to play. I haven't seen anyone with one of these cards equipped yet, so there's probably not many people who know about them, but I will try and host a server in the next few weeks where I run these required eras so you all can try and unlock these cards. I will share the server details with you in my community tab, so be sure to stay tuned. And then we are at point number 5 already, and that might also be something not many players have recognized so far, and that's the new blue and green laser sights. These were added for a large number of weapons, and depending on the weapon category, there's one of these 2 new lasers available, either the green one or the blue one, and they both have to be unlocked by completing assignments. But here it's not enough to complete it for one weapon, you have to unlock these lasers for each weapon separately. So the green laser that was added is the MGL laser sight, and this one is available for the PBX, MP9, K30, AM40, VCAR, BSVM, 12M Auto and Ghostmaker crossbow, and to unlock it you need to do between 30 and 60 hipfire kills with the respective weapon. The amount of kills differs depending on the weapon category. So for example, for the AM40 you need to do 50 hipfire kills and then the new laser can be equipped for it. The blue one is the STNR laser sight, and this one is available for the M5A3, AK-24, AC-42, LCMG, Avances, the M7 and SVK, and the unlock requirements are the same. You need to do between 30 and 50 hipfire kills with the respective weapons, and then you can equip it. And if you should play with a laser sight regularly on some of your weapons, I would highly recommend to equip these new laser sights instead of the old ones, simply because the stats are much better. Both lasers increase the hipfire accuracy when moving and reduce the general weapon recoil, and for the green MGL, this means that the accuracy is 4 points higher and the handling is 1 point higher compared to the normal laser sight. For the blue STNR laser, the stats are slightly different and the accuracy is only increased by 1 point, while the handling is increased by 1 point as well. But like I already said, no matter which one of the two new lasers is available for your preferred weapon, I would definitely recommend to switch over to them, cause the accuracy and handling feel a lot better. If you shouldn't know, you can also unlock these attachments in solo matches against AI, just like you can unlock all other available attachments and all unlockable weapons over there. The next change that was made, and that surely went unnoticed so far, is that you can now repair Crawford's mounted Vulcan with a repair tool, similar to a vehicle or to Boris sentry gun. So when you get shot while operating the turret, just step back, get your repair tool out and fix it. This can also be done by others, or you can repair the mounted miniguns of other players. And I found that this makes Crawford a lot stronger on the battlefield now, cause the gun can last a lot longer than before. What was also changed with the last update is that not only kills with the mounted Vulcan count towards Crawford's mastery, but also assists. That should make it a lot easier to master the specialist and get this beautiful tier 1 uniform. Point number 7 might be a little bit more recognizable, or at least you might have recognized that there is something different, and that's the slide behavior when reviving. I'm sure you all have been in the situation where you wanted to go to a downed teammate as fast as possible, and to take a bit of a shortcut on the last few meters, you started to slide. But then the slide was longer than expected, and even though you started the revive when you were at your teammate's side, you slid beyond them and out of the range of the revive, and probably even out of the safety of your cover. At least that's what happened to me over and over again. But luckily this behavior was changed, and now the slide will immediately slow down when you start the revive. And this gives support players a lot more mobility and agility on the battlefield, and once you got used to this new mechanic, you will slide into each and every revive just because it feels so good. But this only works when you don't miss the point to start the revive. If you miss it, you will still keep on sliding. And then the last change that was made, and here I'm honestly not quite sure if it's a good change or not, is that you can now lock onto empty vehicles no matter if they've been occupied by enemies or by allies before. So for example, if you use the Soflam or FXM, you are now able to lock onto vehicles or aircrafts even though there is no enemy inside of them. On one hand, this is a great change, because that means you will be able to destroy vehicles even if the enemy bailed out of them, like some pilots or drivers do, but on the other hand, you can also log onto vehicles that were occupied by your teammates before, and you might destroy their vehicles as well, even though they probably wanted to use them again. And especially with the Soflam, when you are busy spotting and designating vehicles, you can often not tell if this vehicle was left by a friend or a foe. Plus, it can be very confusing for your teammates to know which vehicles are a threat to your team and need to be destroyed, and which ones are empty and should probably not be prioritized. So like I already said, I'm not quite sure if this change is really beneficial or not, or if they should have just kept it the way it was before. And that's it for today and for this week, and as usual, I hope you found this video helpful and learned something new about Battlefield 2042 with it. And if you did, be sure to drop a like or a comment below and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more content like this. Until then, thanks for watching. I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome.